Celtic rip up the pitch and rip up the script. Maeda wanted by Villa. A Belgian game winner linked, and Evan Ferguson tipped for a shock move to paradise. Tierney's coming home. Kvistgaarden talks heat up, and the summer rebuild is on fire. Like the video, subscribe, and stay locked in. You do not want to miss this. There's still one last showdown at Hampton on the horizon, but over at Paradise. The Celtic machine is already humming ahead of the 2025-2026 season. While other clubs might be busy booking holidays or posting shirtless training snaps from Dubai, Celtic have taken full advantage of the empty fixture list at Parkhead to rip up the pitch and lay down something a bit more majestic. Drone footage from Vegas Ligo gave us a cheeky peek behind the curtain, showing that the turf is gone. The groundwork is well underway, and soon, a brand new surface will be in place. This is not just any patch of grass. Mind you, this is Brendan Rodgers' canvas, and the man does not do scribbles. He wants football that flows like poetry, and poetry needs a proper stage. Now, let us not forget, Celtic have been through the ringer this season. Domestic battles, European nights, cup ties left and right. That pitch has seen more action than a Friday night on Hall Street. So yes, a new surface is not just a luxury, it is a necessity. But this move is not just about fixing potholes in Paradise, it is about intent. It is about ambition. Starting early sends a message. This club is not waiting around. They are laying foundations for trophies now. While the rest of the league is still nursing their hangovers, Celtic are clearly thinking long-term and backing their manager with the tools he needs. But let me ask you this, if the pitch at Parkhead is being custom-built for Rodgers' vision, should other clubs be worried that we are about to see the most dominant Celtic side in years? Or is it just fancy grass and good PR? Let me know what you reckon. Well now, here we go again. The transfer carousel is spinning, and this time it is Daizen Maeda who finds himself right in the eye of the rumor storm. Word on the street is that Aston Villa have been given the green light to go after the Celtic speedster, with reports suggesting they could land him for somewhere between 20 and 25 million pounds. And yes, you heard that right. That price tag for a lad who has rattled in 33 goals and chipped in with 12 assists across 50 appearances this season. Bargain of the decade or daylight robbery? Depends which side of Hadrian's wall you're sitting on. Now, Villa fancy him because, well, who would not? He is quick, relentless, and versatile, and would probably run through a brick wall if Rodgers asked him nicely. Unai Emery sees a perfect fit for his high-energy blueprint, a player who can play wide, central, or probably even in goal if you gave him a week to practice. And the medical, no worries there either. According to the physio whisperers, Maeda is fit as a fiddle. Not a single serious knock all season, and nothing that should keep him from passing a medical with flying colors. Basically, if you have a checkbook and a dream, he is ready to go. But this is where it gets tricky, right? Because Maeda is not just some random cog in the Celtic machine. He is a player who embodies that high-pressing, high-octane football that has defined Celtic's recent success. Losing him would be like pulling the battery out of a Duracell bunny. Sure, you can replace it, but will it bounce the same way? If Celtic do sell Maeda this summer, even for a tidy sum, does that show ambition and smart business? Or is it a sign that the club is still willing to cash in when the English Premier League comes knocking? Let us hear it in the comments. Should Celtic hold firm or take the money and run? Another flurry of names linked to the green and white. At this time, it is all sounding rather spicy, fresh off battering the Jers to the title. Celtic are already reloading for 2025-2026 with a shopping list that would make even the boldest football director sweat. And right at the top of the rumor mill, a Belgian winger who, according to some, can win matches all by himself. Michel-Ange Balikwisha is the name doing the rounds. The 24-year-old Royal Antwerp ace has caught the eye of Celtic's recruitment squad. And to be fair, you can see why. A total of 139 games, 28 goals, 17 assists, and 3 trophies in Belgium is no joke. Add to that his versatility across the front line, it is clear why Brendan Rodgers might be licking his lips at the thought of adding him to the squad. Of course, it is not just Balikwisha on the radar. The Hoops are expected to go back in for Brondby striker Mathias Kvistgaarden too. The Dane has all but screamed, "Come get me" in interviews lately, saying he is ready to leave the Danish Superliga behind. Brondby want more than £10 million, but with the way Celtic are moving, Do not be surprised if a bid is already being typed up as we speak. Then there is Kieran Tierney, who has already packed his bags for a triumphant return home on a free from Arsenal. Honestly, the man bleeds green and white. That one's not a rumor, it is a done deal, the sort of homecoming that lifts a whole dressing room. Now, the winger department is already a crowded party. You have Jota, Daizen Maeda, Hyan Yan, James Forrest, Nicholas Kuhn, Luis Palma, and Marco Tilio all still on the books. But let us be honest, a few of those names might be offloading their lockers soon. Reports say Palma and Tilio could be on their way out, opening space for someone like Balikwisha to step in. Here is the kicker though. Balikwisha has had his injury concerns this season, and Celtic have been burned before with players who look the part on YouTube, but end up spending more time in the physio's room than on the pitch. So here is what I want to ask you. Should Celtic take the gamble on a game winner with injury baggage, or stick with the talent they already have and build chemistry? Would you clear out the wide men for Balikwisha, or is this just transfer hype that will go cold come August? Let me know what you think. Now this one is a proper curveball, is it not? Sky Sports pundit Don Goodman has stirred the pot by suggesting that Celtic could make a move for none other than Evan Ferguson. Yes, that Evan Ferguson, the 20-year-old striker once hailed as a superstar by Michael Richards. The same lad who had the Premier League buzzing not too long ago with goals, swagger, and all the signs of being the next big thing for Ireland. Fast forward to now though, and things have cooled off for the big man. Brighton gave him the nod early doors, but this season, just 3 league starts between Brighton and West Ham, and not a single goal to his name in claret and blue. A striker without confidence is like a fiddler without strings, and Ferguson's rhythm has clearly gone missing. Goodman reckons a move to Celtic could be just what the doctor ordered. Game time, goals. European nights under the Parkhead lights. It is not hard to see the logic. This is a club where confidence comes back quickly when you are banging them in past Livingston on a cold Wednesday or putting the passengers in a derby. Celtic have rebuilt careers before. Think of the players who arrived a little lost and left legends. The reality is, Ferguson needs to play football. Simple as that. And with the Hoops looking to beef up their Champions League pedigree and firepower, a lone move might just make sense for everyone. He gets minutes. Celtic get a potential game changer, and Brighton get their asset polished and return in better condition. That is if he is not convinced to stay longer, of course. But let us not get ahead of ourselves. This is all very speculative, and while we love a juicy rumor, we also know Premier League wages and ego can make deals like this tricky to land. So let us throw this to you lot. Would taking Evan Ferguson on loan show Celtic's ambition to become a real force in Europe again? Or would it be a desperate gamble on a player who might not handle the pressure of being the guy at a club where winning is non-negotiable? Tell me in the comments, would you take the risk or look elsewhere? Fancy this kind of explosive football news? Then drop a like. It means the world and shows you are enjoying the ride. Make sure to subscribe so you do not miss a single twist in the Scottish game. And get down in the comments. I would love to see what you think of all this madness. Looking forward to seeing you around, mate.